We good? We're on? All right, I think we're live. Good morning, everybody, on this great Saturday morning. Hope everybody is doing well in the aftermath of our New Year's Eve and New Year's Day celebrations. Hope everybody had a good one, rested up now, and getting ready to get back to work on Monday, I would assume. I know a lot of people went back to work on Thursday, but I played a round of golf yesterday and going to try to relax this weekend. And I hit the ground running on Monday. Got a busy schedule for the month of January, and it looks like all of 2025 is shaping up to be pretty busy with everything I got going on. So that's a good thing, I guess, right? It's better that the phone keeps ringing, that nobody wants to talk to you. So I always look at it that way. But really, hope everybody's doing well. And we got a lot going on in this year, people. And, a couple of things I want to talk about this morning. Then we'll take some comments and questions for sure. I see they're all coming in the chat. Good morning to most all of you there from all over the country. Gary, how are you? Good to see you. Glad you're in this. Spoke to Caleb earlier this morning. So, couple of things, people. I talked in my last live about us trying to unify this country. I think it's time for a reset. We have a new administration coming in now in what, about 18 days, something like that, maybe less, 16 days. And I think it's pretty exciting. We're going to see some new things. I have to say, I was very sad for what happened in New Orleans, obviously, and what happened in Vegas. Um, Look, I think it's something that we're going to have to deal with this coming year. Possibly the rise of terrorist attacks in this country. I think over the past 4 years, we understand what happened. More radical people came in over the border. We know that. And even though, from what I understand, these two perpetrators of these horrible acts, both in Vegas and New Orleans, were both American citizens. They were actually Army veterans. We see that they've been radicalized. And, I think the FBI is talking now about them being lone wolves. They acted alone. And yeah, they might have acted alone. I don't know if I believe that. I think you need help to carry out things like this. I'm not sure, and I'm not going to demean whatever the FBI is telling us at this point, even though I think we always take it with a grain of salt. Our experience over the past couple of years tells us that. But I will say this, you know, these cells that now have entered our country, and we know that. I mean, we had numbers with terrorists that have crossed the border. They're radicalizing American citizens for whatever reason. I can't get into the psychology of that. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not going to pretend to know that. But people that are disenchanted or disillusioned with our country in some way, shape, or form, what happens? They get radicalized, and they do the things that they do. And needs to stop. And people, we need to be prepared. I'm going to be honest. I tell my kids I don't want them going to concerts. I don't want them doing any of this. And I know people say, well, we can't give in to that. Well, we can if we're concerned about it. And until and or unless I feel comfortable that our government and our law enforcement is doing what they need to do to protect us, that's the attitude I'm going to take. I'm sorry. I'm preparing all my children. I prepare my grandchildren, my wife, and I tell them, you got to be careful. These outings, even in movie theaters, we don't know where it's going to come from next, but we do know that these things are going to happen. There's no question. This wasn't the last of it. Uh, we're going to see it this year. Hopefully minimal. Hopefully Trump gets in, and this new Justice Department and this new law enforcement agenda comes in and takes control of this, takes it very seriously, and we move forward, and they do their job in protecting us, because that's what it's all about. Government's first and foremost obligation and responsibility is to protect its citizens. That's it. And we've seen a real lack of that over the past 4 years. I'm sorry. And I got to say this too. It was sickening for me to watch Biden give out the Medal of Honor to some of our military people. It was sickening because this guy has caused more damage. I really don't understand him. I really don't. There's no question in my mind that he's the worst president in my lifetime, without a doubt. He's dishonest, he's disingenuous, he's treasonous in my view. He's got so much blood on his hands, starting with COVID and Afghanistan and what's happened over the border. and his soft on crime policies and his insisting that the biggest threat to America is white supremacy, not terrorism, not letting people over the border, criminals. It's all white, white supremacy. He stressed that so many times. I mean, this guy, there's something wrong with him. I have to say this. There's something wrong with him. Either he's very resentful that he lost the bid for presidency a few times before he was installed, this time with COVID. There's something wrong with him. I don't believe he loves this country. I believe he hates this country. I believe he took advantage of this country in every way, shape, or form that he could. And his outgoing legacy is horrible. I mean, even the last things, letting all of these criminals on death row, commuting their sentences just before Christmas, which was such a stake through the heart of so many of the loved ones of the victims that these criminals, preyed upon. I don't understand his timing on that. And you know my feeling on the death penalty. I'm against the death penalty in most cases because I told you why. Because the government makes mistakes and they put innocent people to jail. And sometimes they do it intentionally. There's no question about it. So you can't kill an innocent person with a civilized government. That's my feeling on it. However, there is timing. There's a way to do certain things. And to commute these sentences, of the most heinous criminal, I don't know. I don't get it. The fact that he wanted to sell all the steel that Trump is going to use to protect us at the border and build a wall. He was selling it, taxpayer money, pennies on a dollar. Everything he's trying to do, is to try to destroy Trump's efforts to make this country safe and to make America a better place again. Everything. It's unbelievable. And now I understand too that he's given the Medal of Freedom now, to 19 people, two of them being George Soros and Hillary Clinton. I don't get it. How do you give these people, George Soros especially? George Soros has poured billions of dollars into democratic progressive causes. George Soros said several years ago that he hated America. All the progressive prosecutors that have been installed have been with the help of his money. And that goes right through to Bragg in New York and this prosecutor we had out here in LA and all of them. I mean, the guy hates America. The guy is trying to destroy America from within, and we give him the Medal of Freedom. What is wrong with Biden? And Hillary Clinton? You know, this woman basically they said she committed crimes with her laptop. They just didn't prosecute her like they didn't prosecute Biden, okay, for having classified documents he wasn't supposed to have. It was illegally in his possession, but they didn't prosecute him because they have showed you that there is a two-tier system of justice for Democrats. Hopefully that's all going to end. That's going to be ending. And I am going to get into what we can expect for 2025, but that's going to go. I don't understand what this guy is doing. I don't understand why they hate America, what America ever did to them. Like I said, maybe he's resentful that he lost his bid for the presidency two or three times before COVID got him elected. I don't know. But I'm telling you, it's a bad situation with this guy. We can't get rid of him soon enough. He's done more damage globally, and more damage domestically than any single person that I know. I really mean that. That's ever been a politician, ever been in office. He is absolutely the worst, and he continues. He doesn't care. He knows he's not going to be held accountable. At least he thinks he is. He's not going to be held accountable. So he just continues to wreak havoc on America. And that's what he's done. That's exactly what he's done. So, good riddance to him. I'll be saying this again, when he finally leaves office, good riddance. Of course, we know what he did with his son. Not only that he commuted it or that he pardoned his conviction. I get it. I said, a father, he doesn't want to visit his son, because his son did all his illegal bidding for him. They acted together. We now know it for a fact. We've known it all along, but now when he lied and said he never met with any of his son's business associates, we have him in photos with his son's business associates. We'd have him in photos introducing his son to the president of China or the prime minister of China, whatever his title is, Z. So he lies, lies, lies to the detriment of the American people. I don't know how anybody can be supportive of this guy at this point. I don't understand it. And those that are supportive of him probably just don't have the proper information because they're too busy, uh, taking care of the lives that he helped destroy in the 4 years that he's been in office, him and Harris. And by the way, did you hear that Harris, she flubbed the Pledge of Allegiance? She didn't know the right words to the Pledge of Allegiance. That's our vice president. That's the person that could have been president of the United States. She did not know the correct words to the Pledge of Allegiance. She flubbed it. And to think that the Democrats installed somebody like this to be commander in chief of the biggest and most important military and economy in the world, the leader of the free world, that they were blatantly going to install her there so they can use her as a puppet again. I've said it many times, people, and I hope you understand. These are very bad people. They do not have your best interest at heart. We have to never forget what they did these past 4 years. We have to never let it go. We have to always remember that they're untrustworthy, that they have their own agenda they want to impose on us. They don't want to work for our benefit and our welfare, and we can never forget it. And like I said, good riddance to Biden and Harris. Let them just disappear. I, for one, have said it many times. I'll say it again. I want Trump's Justice Department to hold them all accountable for the crimes that they committed. I want January 6th investigated because it was a sham investigation. I want Nancy Pelosi investigated for all the money that she robbed through her insider trading and all the nefarious things she's done while in office. I want Joe Biden investigated for his treasonous activities, gaining money, by peddling his vice presidency. He needs to be investigated. And even if nothing happens, a report has to be given to the American people to destroy his legacy if he hasn't already destroyed it again. Why? Not as revenge against him, so that nobody else dares try to do what this man did to this country. It has to be stopped. Nancy Pelosi has to be reined in so that nobody does what she does again. No politician, whether it be Democratic, Republican, Independent, it doesn't matter. Politicians cannot have free reign and use the system and use taxpayer money to their advantage and to our detriment. And they have to all be held accountable. And I, for one, want want justice as an American citizen. Hey, justice was brought against me. I went to jail for, a 10-year prison sentence, did 8, had a $14.7 million restitution, had 5 million in forfeitures. You know what? And I deserved it. I should have been held accountable. And so should these people. They're no better than us. They're no better than us. So look, Trump, it's not revenge, it's justice, and it's holding people accountable so we don't have a repeat performance of anything, any of this again. The swamp has to be drained once and for all. So, and once again, I want to applaud my fellow citizens, American citizens, who finally said, enough. We're not listening to the gaslighting. We're not listening to any of the lies. We see what's going on. We are experiencing, shock at the grocery store. We are experiencing shock at the gas pumps. We are experiencing, crime in our neighborhoods. We are experiencing the loss of our loved ones. We went through this debacle of COVID that was so unnecessary. We lost our loved ones because we had to wear masks and we couldn't go in to visit our loved ones who were dying. We couldn't see them die. We couldn't hear their last words. It was all a sham with Fauci and all of them. It was all a sham. They all have blood on their hands, and we can never forget this. Why? So that it never happens again. There can't be a repeat performance of this. It could never, ever, ever happen again. That's it. What do we have to look forward to in 2025? And I will take comments and questions shortly. I'm not going to keep you too long this morning. What do we have to look forward to? Well, people, I saw something very enlightening. I read it this morning. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there has been an increase, a huge increase in Bible sales in this past year. And the reason for that is people are striving, they're looking for purpose and community. And I have to say this, people, I had a Bible study Thursday evening, and we had just about 200 people that signed on. And that was great. Prior to that, I think our maximum was 100. And we only just started this in the last 2 months, and we're putting the word out. It's a free Bible study. People are hungry. They want purpose. They want to discover what their purpose is in life. They want to be around a community of like-minded people. And to read these statistics, there was 8.1 million Bibles sold, I think, in 2020 or 2021. Well, there was 13 million sold in 2024. What's the reason for that? Purpose. People are looking for the truth. They're in search of the truth. And that doesn't mean that they all of a sudden became religious. They're just looking for purpose. And the Bible is one place that you find it. It is the place, in my opinion, that you find it. So, what's going on in America? We saw what happened with the November 5th election. We saw that most of the country turned red. Most of the country wants, a great majority of the country wants a reset. They don't want, open borders. They don't want crime in the cities. They don't want inflated grocery prices. They don't want additional taxes. They want to be safe. They don't want wars around the world. They want this all resolved. And they spoke their piece. We spoke our piece on November 5th. So it's all a change in attitude, a change in almost ideology that's happening with people. And that is something that we have to look forward to in 2025. I believe that the Trump administration will close the border to a great degree. I believe the Trump administration will hunt down those foreign terrorists and even domestic terrorists, the real ones, like the ones that committed these heinous crimes on New Year's Eve and day. I believe that Trump is going to hunt them down. He's going to make our neighborhoods safe again. I believe he's going to support our law enforcement agencies so that they can do their job. And yes, for those of you who say, come on, Michael, don't be so pro police. No, I am pro police. Do certain police departments need reform? Yes, of course, we know that. But again, what doesn't need reform? Our government needs reform. Our churches need reform. Our companies need reform. Every organization just about needs reform. We have to have reform because there's always some bad apples that trickle in. We have to have safeguards put in place. We understand that. But we have to support our law enforcement agencies. For some reason in New Orleans, they were laxed. We have to say it. There's a big investigation. I have friends and partners in that area, and they're giving me inside information. Well, not inside. They give me information as to what's going on. Why did they remove those barriers so that no car could get through to the people on Bourbon Street? That was such a misstep, really. Because if anything, line up some police cars there so that nobody can get in and do. There's a laxed attitude, and we have to reform that because the number one job of government is to protect its citizens. Biden has totally dissolved that by opening these borders and letting these criminals come in and wreak havoc in our neighborhoods. We have to get back to law enforcement reform. We have to get back to stricter agendas with respect to our law enforcement. We must. Otherwise, a lot of people are going to get hurt, more people. And I think Trump is going to do that. He's going to do his best to deport these people that don't belong here. He's going to do best to close the border like every other country should be doing. We should have a closed border or we don't have a nation. Okay, he's going to do his best, I believe, okay, to lower taxes to make it easier for families to survive and prosper and enjoy their lives. I think that's a concern of his. I've heard this. I have friends. And by the way, I'll be speaking with Roger Stone. Now, some of you, he's kind of a lightning rod, like I am at times. But you know what? Roger is he's very well learned and he's very knowledgeable about certain things. And we're going to have a good talk with him. I'm sitting down with him Tuesday. We'll post it a couple of days after that, I'm sure. But these things have to be put in place. I think that Trump, we're going to see some significant changes in what's going on in these wars around the world. Now, Trump has got a big job because he was left with a mess. He's left with a mess, havoc all over the world by the Biden-Harris administration. But I think he's going to fix it. I really do. I think we're going to see some good things coming up. For those of you people that want part of a community, I'm telling you now, just go look into it. michaelfrancis.com/family. Look into it. We have a substantial amount of people are in this community, and we are doing a lot to bring people together, to have them have relationships with other like-minded people that can support and benefit one another. I am giving a lot of input. We're doing Zoom calls. We're doing Q&As. I put a lot of resources in there to help you in business and personally. We're going to have live events where people are going to get together and gather. I'm telling you, it's a good community. I want this to be the best community on all of social media and all of us personally getting together at some point. So look into it, michaelfrancis.com/family. I guarantee you, um, this is the easiest platform to join, and you're going to see a significant result. I believe you're going to like it. So go in and try it, see what you think. We had a lot of people come on after my Bible study, and people are really happy with it, and so am I. I'm looking forward to it. I look at it as part of my ministry. And when I say ministry, it doesn't mean I'm going to be shoving the Bible or Jesus Christ down your throat. I don't do that. I don't push my faith on anybody. I just share it. But give it a look again, michaelfrancis.com/slash family. I'm going to take some questions, people, and I want to hear some comments, and I'm going to respond off of that. I think these Saturday mornings are more for you than for me just to keep going on and and delivering certain messages. So let's get to the questions. And again, I don't ask people for money. We don't solicit it, but people that do, we try to give them preference in answering the questions. It's only the right thing to do, we feel. So we're going to do that. All right. But any comments, questions, anything that you think is productive, anything you believe that other people can benefit from, please chime in. Amer, thank you very much, my sir. Very generous of you. I know you've talked about it before, but can you talk about how you work the flea market? Also, you can do Mob Movie Monday on Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag starring Joe Pesci. Yeah, that was a good show. I haven't seen it in a while. I'd have to refresh my memory. But for those of you that have seen my review on The Penguin, hopefully you like that. They're going into another season. I think it's a brilliant show. It's not a Marvel comic show, at least not yet. It's really a crime drama, and it's very unique. And I think Colin Farrell is amazing. Everybody's amazing in it. You should watch it. We did a review on it. Maybe that'll pique your interest. It's up on YouTube now. We posted it, I believe, on Thursday. Um, the flea market. Well, my flea market experience, make a long story short, when I was 20 years old, I got indicted 4 times. Yeah, because of the name, people were on me. I got indicted for grand larceny, all this kind of stuff. I was acquitted or dismissed in every case. It was all nonsense coming after me, basically because I was a Franzese and my father was a very notable figure. He was already in jail at that point, doing his 50-year sentence. And I went to work in a flea market on a weekend. I was the guy that collected the money and gave out the spaces for all. I was kind of the manager. I was in charge of it. And it was a big market. We had, I think, about 500 vendors or something at that point in time. It was a great experience without getting in. I don't want to get into it and bore everybody, but I made a lot of money. I got to tell you that in giving out spaces, and people were giving me kickbacks at the time to give them a good space. I told the owner of the flea market, I said, look, these people are coming to me. They're offering me a lot of money. If I take it, we can split it. And then I started lending money out because I had a captive audience. They had all their merchandise there. We locked it up at night. They couldn't run away from me. So I was lending money at, 1% a week, 2% a week, whatever the market would bear. It really got me out of the hole that I was in from all the cases that I had been fighting at 20 and 21 years old, believe it or not. So it was a great experience, and I won't get into it further. I have a lot of flea market stories, but not right now. But thank you, Mert. Thank you for that question. Okay. Cam, thank you very much. Thoughts on Trump's tariffs? I voted for him, but they kind of worry me. Yeah, I think tariffs could be effective under the right circumstances, and I think we have to trust Trump that he knows what he's doing because it's not only tariffs, it's the politics and the negotiation behind the tariffs. Sometimes what it does, it kind of brings people to the negotiating table. Hey, this guy is serious. Let's sit down and talk and let's find a better way to avoid these tariffs. So I think that's what Trump's plan is. You know what Trump does? He puts it out there. He kind of gets it into people's heads, just like he's going to buy Greenland and he got a reaction from them, or he wants to make Canada the 51st state. Does he really want to? Who knows? But he puts it out there and he gets a reaction. He kind of, judges how people feel about it. And then he says he's taken back the Panama Canal. It should have never been given. And he gets a reaction out of them. I think this is his technique and how he negotiates. So I wouldn't be too concerned with it. Let's see what happens and we'll take it from there. Trump is unique. I got to tell you that. He's really unique. Okay, Pookie L777. Thank you very much, sir. Or ma'am, I'm not sure. Michael, can you get your wines in Albertsons in Southern California? Not in Albertsons, not yet. You can get it in Ralph's in Southern California or Total Wines. We'll be in Albertsons in Texas shortly. We are in Albertsons in North Dakota, I believe. Oh, I hope I got it right. Yeah, but we're going to be blanketing the country this year, I'm sure, because what they do, these big markets, we're only in business 2 years. We're entering our third year. They give you a test, and if you do well in that test, then from that point they expand, and that's where we're heading for 2025. Actually, Walmart, who's taken our non-alcoholic wine, is testing us the biggest test ever in 8 states, 380 stores starting April 1st. We're very excited about that. We really are. So you'll be getting it. We'll be all over the country, I'm sure, in 2025 and certainly in 2026. But you can get us online. Don't forget, franziswine.com, and we'll ship it right to your door. Okay, let me see. What do we have here? We get the questions. Okay, let's see where we go here. Okay, Judge Shady. Thank you very much. Yes, pray for a smooth presidential transition. As a retired Leo, we all matter. Yes. Who knows what they're going to try to pull out of their sleeves? I don't know. I think it's going to be smooth, but who knows? With these people, these Democrats, I never sell them short. These progressive Democrats in office, not the people on the street. They're good people, but these people in office, who knows? So let's hope we do have a peaceful one. We'll know in what, 14 days, 15 days, whatever it might be. Ben Bauer, thank you very much. Trump 2025. Sorry you lost. Well, I think nobody really lost. People just might have thought that they lost, but they didn't lose. I think we're all going to win this year. Randall Hub, thank you. The devil don't wear the horns in a red suit. You know it, Michael. Vengeance shall be the Lord's in Jesus' name. These guys think we are dumb, boss. Well, uh, I have to agree with that. The devil doesn't come with a pitchfork and horns and a tail. He's in our midst. And the devil, the enemy, Satan, whatever you want to call him, his goal is to disrupt us and to separate us from God. And that's it. And he has many, many, many ways to do it. One of them being our phone, you know. Okay, Fresh Visions, travel vlogs. Thank you very much. Trump is also a mob boss. Reason why? Because Trump demands loyalty, and if you cross him, it's consequences. He is definitely Cosa Nostra pure facts. Well, that's not a fact. Trump never took an oath. He's not Cosa Nostra. Trust me on that. And let me tell you something. The people that got consequences that didn't go along was not with Trump. It was with Biden. You didn't go along with Biden. You got indicted. You got silenced. You got, that was it. Look who he went after. You got canceled. You got silenced. You got indicted, or you got killed. He allowed people coming to this country. You were a parent. If you were a parent that were concerned about your children and what their education was all about, you were listed as a domestic terrorist. If you're a white guy, you're a white supremacist if you don't go along with his agenda. You got it all wrong. It's not Trump. It's not Trump. They've just put this in your head. They've just made you believe this. Everything they've accused Trump of doing, they have done 1,000 times worse. And they continue to do. They're the ones that went to social media and silenced social media when stories came out that were contrary to their agenda. The laptop, the whole bit. They're the ones that implemented cancel culture. They're the ones that indicted Donald Trump 4 times. They're the ones that impeached him twice. He was their political enemy. They're the ones that put, Trump's people in jail. They did it. Who did Trump put in jail? Think about it. Who did he put in jail from the Democratic side? Nobody. It was the Biden administration, it was the Obama administration that went after all the people that didn't disagree with them. You got it all wrong. You got it when you state facts, state facts. And Trump is not a mob boss. Trump took no oath. Trump wasn't associated. So I beg to differ with you. You're 100% wrong on that. Those are facts. Okay, Carolyn Nadina Vavala. Thank you very much, Carolyn. Michael, greetings from Virginia. Happy New Year to you. Thank you. Tough in Virginia. Italians have been southernized. Got a cousin available. Good women in search of good Italian men to be spoiled and loved. Saluting. Okay, well, Carolyn, thank you very much for that. Yeah, same things happens out west. You know, Italians, after they live out here 20, 25 years, 30 years, they're not Italian anymore almost. Not me. I ain't changing. That's it. I am who I am. And I like my Italian heritage. I'm an American first, but of Italian descent, and I enjoy the food, and I enjoy the language, and I enjoy everything else. So, but Carolyn, thank you very much for that. Okay, Gregory Badley. Mike, did you ever have any friends around Hell's Kitchen? Of course. I had several friends around Hell's Kitchen, and unfortunately, they're all gone now. But yeah, it was a neighborhood that some good people came out of. Let me tell you that. Gary Slots and Travel, did you ever spend time at a Las Vegas hotel before and now? Oh, absolutely. I started going out to Vegas in 1979. And I love Vegas. I don't like it as much as when we controlled it way back when. And I can't take too much of it right now. I go in for a day or two and I'm out. As a matter of fact, I'll be there, I think, in a week or so. But yeah, I mean, Vegas is Vegas and it's a fun place. It's not the same as it was, I can tell you that. But hey, it's a tourist hotspot. But you know, I like to stay in hotels that don't have casinos. I hate walking through the casino to get to my hotel room or to get to the restaurants. I don't like it. So I'll stay in a hotel that has no casino, and then I'll go to the casino when I want to. And I don't really gamble, so you know they don't. I walk through the casinos like they don't bother me because I don't engage. I just don't like going through the whole headache to get to my room. Okay, Laura Grulin, Happy New Year, Michael. Any thoughts on Biden giving Soros and Clinton the Presidential Medal of Freedom? I just said that. You know, again, this guy, I don't know what's on his mind. You know, Hillary Clinton deserves the Presidential, Medal of Freedom. You know, she was a terrible Secretary of State. You know, look what she did. I don't want to get into it all. Benghazi, it was an absolute mess. Look what she said. People died as a result of her activities in Benghazi, and she didn't even care about it. She said one day, what difference does it make? You know, she destroyed her laptop with information on there, destroyed it. You and I would be in jail, for destroying evidence. She destroyed it. No problem. She had what? 33,000 classified information documents on her home laptop. You know, what happened to her? Oh, it was bad, and they were terribly. What did Comer say? Whatever his name was, the head of the FBI at the time. Yeah, she was very negligent and very irresponsible, but we don't think she did it, and caused any problem. You know, give me a break. Imagine if that was Trump or any of Trump's people. Come on, they went through Melania Trump's underwear. Biden had them, Biden approved, and the Justice Department approved a raid on his home in Mar-a-Lago, an ex-president. Why? They went there with guns drawn. And that person wants to tell me that Trump goes after his political enemies? That's the mob boss? No. Biden is a bully. He wishes he was a mob boss. He thinks he's a mob boss, but he's a bully because he uses the strength of the federal government. He's a weak person. And that's what he does. That's what bullies do. I told you, it's not strong people you got to worry about. Trump is strong. Evidence, you can see it. You don't have to worry about him. You know where you stand with Trump. Biden, he's a bully. He's weak. It's weak people given power that they don't deserve and can't handle. That's who you worry about. And Biden showed us that in 4 years. Showed us that. Ben Bauer, I want to be a made man, Michael. Blood in, blood out. Let me know I got you. Okay, Ben. Well, unfortunately, you could be a made man, but made in the image of Jesus Christ. How's that? That's what a true made man is. P. Cardi, hopefully Trump being back in office has a positive effect on the UK. Yes, I know you got some issues going on there. Hopefully Trump will have a positive impact on most of the countries in the world, the free world. Budaland, love Trump. Happy Trump's in office, but I'm questioning his choices in these high government roles. I hope he doesn't give away his power to these people. They're foreigners. Vance is a real America. Let's see. We got to give him his chance. I think he doesn't want to make the mistake he made in his first presidency. He doesn't want bureaucrats around him. He doesn't want that. He wants outsiders to come in and do the job and drain the swamp. That's what he needs to do for all of us. So he's not taking these bureaucrats anymore because they don't do that. They're too conditioned. That's it. Okay. Wow. Wow, Kenneth and Ning, thank you very much for that. Very generous of you. We appreciate it very much. That's Kenneth and Ning. Mike, sir, Happy New Year. My wife and I love you and your family. We've seen pictures of you and wife. My goodness, you all such be a beautiful couple. Thank you. God bless you and your beautiful family. Kenneth from Texas, Ning from Thailand. Well, thank you both very much. How did the two of you get together like that? That's great. And I really appreciate that. And I love my wife. We're going to be married 40 years this year. You know, people, when you look back and 40 years, it sounds so much. I mean, it's such a big number, but hey, I love her. She's been the most supportive woman. Without her, she's been my rock. All the challenges and issues I gave her, and sometimes when I acted like a fool, she supported me, and I love her for that. I love her for all of eternity because I know we're going to meet up again in heaven. But Kenneth and Nate, thank you so much for that. Thank you for the compliment and the nice words. Most appreciated. I really mean that. Okay, Carolyn, we did that. All right. Let me make sure. I want to make sure I get everybody I'm supposed to. Okay. Il Toro, holy cow, did you destroy yourself at your opening statements in front of Congress back when you cooperated? Mob facts. Il Toro, let me straighten that out for you. No, I didn't destroy myself at all. Okay. I know people read into that. They think they know what they're talking about, but they don't. Yes, I went in front of Congress and I talked to them about corruption in professional boxing. And here's my take on everything, people, so that you don't understand. Yes, I navigated through talking with the FBI and through all of that. I did that. Why? Because I wanted to preserve my life for my family and for my wife, who was so dedicated to me. So yeah, and I knew I had to get out of a bad life, and I couldn't just walk away. So yeah, I tried to make the government understand that I wasn't part of that anymore. But here's the bottom line for me. Here's the bottom line. Okay, nobody ever went to prison because of anything I ever told the government. I've said that 1,000 times. I defy anybody to show me differently. All those naysayers out there that want to bring out a 302, I know what I did. And let me tell you something. I spent 8 years in prison, 29 months and 7 days in the hole because John Gleason, who was the head prosecutor at the time, said straight out in his book about Gotti, Michael Franzese took us to the cleaners. He gave us nothing of value. And that was my plan and my scheme. And yeah, that's what I did. I manipulated the government at the time, okay, to get out of that life. I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't put anybody in prison. When I spoke in front of Congress, you know what that was? It was nothing but a charade. Nobody got charged, nobody got indicted, nobody went to jail, and it was information that they already knew. So you can say whatever you want. How did I destroy myself? Destroyed myself? I have a beautiful wife for 40 years. I have a ministry that God blessed me with. I have 7 beautiful children, 7 grandchildren, and a thriving life. So, where did I destroy myself? Whereas all my former associates are either dead or in prison for the rest of their life. So get your facts straight, my friend. I know you come on here and try to grandstand a little bit. And yeah, that gets me up because when you come at me, I come back. We're New Yorkers. That's what Trump does. Okay. I don't do it on social media, but I can do it one on one right here with you because you made the comment. So just know what you're talking about before you make statements. Do your research. Don't listen to other people. All right. Do your research. That was my plan. I put it out there. And you know what? Yeah, I suffered for it financially and every other way. Yes, I did. But here I am. At 73 years old, I have a life. Whatever happens to me now, I'm on bonus time. 73 years old. So there you go. JPG, Michael Francis is the man. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that very much. Gregory Bradley, Mike, don't let people upset you. They have no idea about that life. You know what? It's not upsetting, but I like to set people straight when they make statements like that based upon what they think they know and they really have no clue. So many people talk about my former life that were never there. They read newspapers, they read media, they listen to other people on YouTube. They don't know what they're talking about. And that's why I don't respond to all the attacks that I get on YouTube by these other people that they claim that they're mob experts or whatever. They don't know what they're talking about. The truth is there. It's documented. It's written. It's there. And I challenge anybody to show me differently. Everybody wants to hold up a 302. Oh, it's a 302. Look, whenever you talk to the government, they write it up. It's a 302. There's a lot of 302s from people. It doesn't mean those 302s hurt anybody. Doesn't mean those 302s put anybody in prison. Doesn't mean that at all. So listen, before one of my trials, I went in and spoke to the government because I told them, you're making a mistake. I'm not involved with this in the Giuliani case. Well, did me no good. I got charged. I went to trial. I beat the case, but they didn't care. But yeah, they wrote up a 302. Doesn't matter. Not every 302 puts people in jail. This is all nonsense. People think they know, they don't know anything. Trust me. Okay, Nathan Holman. God bless you, brother, and hope 225 is good for you. Thank you very much. I hope 225 is good for everybody. I really mean that. Except those people that should be held accountable for the way that they hurt America in these past 4 years. That I'm saying. Accountability. I don't want them to die. I don't want them to go to prison for the rest of their life. I want them held accountable for the whole country to see so that we know that these people did bad things and we should never allow it to happen again in government. We have to set precedent. That's it. Ben Bauer, so you think you're going to punk him in front of all of his fans and you're just going to not get any flack? Ben, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Gary Slots and Travel. Do you have a website where we can send you an email, Michael? Yes, it's Michael Francis. Oh, wait a minute. Can you send me an email there? I don't know. I'll tell you what you can do. No, I don't want to do that because it looks like I'm selling. I'm on Minect and I do a lot on Minect. People, and there's a charge for it. I don't charge. Patrick Bet David, this is his thing that he put up. But on Minect, you can get a phone call with me, a video phone call. You can get a text with me. We can have a text chat. And my prices on there are lower than most. I don't, I don't look to gouge anybody, but you have to pay on that thing. But let me think. You know what? Why don't you do this? Go on michaelfrancis.com/family. You can definitely communicate with me through that, even if you do it 1 month, one time. It'll cost you $10 to be part of it. You know what? If you come on, I guarantee you're not going to get off. But that's the only way that I know of. Go on the website, michaelfrancis.com, and see if you can email me through there. You might be able to. I'm not sure. And don't, listen, I got a lot of things going on. I'm not sure if you can email me or not. I don't think so, but take a try. Okay. Jerry Jacona. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Jerry Jacona, there are people out there talking blank about you, Mike. You know who they are. Yeah, I know that. That's been going on. Listen, when you put yourself out on social media, you're going to get people that are going to, they're going to badmouth you. But listen, you got to have thick skin. If you're doing it, you're doing it. And you people know I don't respond. I responded one time to one guy who made a bad remark about my father. Totally should not have, and it was wrong. And I responded it because with my dad, and that hurt. That's about it. I'll never respond again. I don't get into all of that because look, people can throw darts. I don't know these people. I don't even know who they are, other than seeing them on social media. I never interacted with them. I never had business with them. I never did anything with them, but they want to talk. They want to, look at a news media article or whatever they want. They want to listen to somebody else. Doesn't matter. Truthfully, it doesn't bother me. But yeah, if somebody comes on here and wants to make a statement, I'll respond to them because we're doing a one-on-one. This is a live right here. I tell people all the time, I'm very public. You got a problem with me? I got speaking dates all over the world. Okay. I go to New York, I go to Brooklyn, I go to Florida, I'm in California, I live here. Come and talk to me. You have something to say it like a man. Come to my face. Let's deal with it right then and there. I'm not worried about it. I don't have security around me 24/7. Let's do it. Okay. I challenge you in that regard. You got something to say? Bring it. All right. Okay. Big Genio G484. Thank you very much, sir. Definitely, Michael. It was a great Bible study. Highly recommend people to come on and check out the family. A lot of new and exciting things happening from your buddy Eugene Moki. Thank you so much, Gene. I really appreciate that. And thank you for getting something out of the Bible study. That's what we want. We want people to be encouraged by it. We want people to just be able to better themselves. You know, the Bible offers some good foundation on how to encourage you, how to overcome challenges, how to live your life. And like I said, without hitting you over the head with, we're not hitting you over the head with it. We're giving some uh, good foundation and sound principles for you to build and improve yourself on. That's what it's all about. Of course, as a Christian, you know, my ultimate prayer for all of you is that you do turn to Christ because I believe turning to Christ ensures you heaven for all of eternity. That's what I want for all of you, every one of you. Okay. Michael Lance, do you own any Bitcoin? What is your stance on it? I do own some Bitcoin. Recently got involved, and I got involved because Trump said he's going to make America, quote, the Bitcoin capital of the world. It's very volatile. You got to be careful. You got to have good advice. I'm not real knowledgeable about it, but I have a few people around me that are knowledgeable about it. So I learned from them. I'm going to focus and concentrate on it more now. So I am actually doing some things to make myself more knowledgeable about it. But I think it's something that people should consider in the future. Again, it's very volatile, so you got to be careful. You got to get good advice, but I will not steer you away from it. I would say educate yourself and look into it because it could be something that could be profitable for you. Like the stock market, like anything else, you got to be careful. It's volatile. Make sure I got everyone. Am I missing anyone? Right? I think, okay. William Cott, hello, big fan of yours. And Sammy, question, are you growing your own grapes? And if yes, look into regenerative farming. Well, yeah, we are growing our own grapes because my partner's family owns the vineyard in Armenia. And so, yes, we're growing our own grapes, and I love the process. And you know, I can get into it. I don't want to do it here at this point in time, but if you're interested in it, you know, come on, michaelfrancis.com/family. We get into things a lot. As a matter of fact, we're going to be we have a lot of ambassadors now around the country that are becoming knowledgeable about our wine. We have a big program that we have, and if you're interested in it, like I said, michaelfrancis.com/family. We'll talk to you about it and see if you want to take the next step with us. I think it's going to be something based upon you know, the enjoyment of all the people that we have involved already. That's going to be pretty fascinating, something you're going to enjoy for the future. Okay. Michael, salute to you and your family. Do you think the cartels in the U.S. will meet the same fate as the mob? I don't know. I don't know. For some reason, you know, the FBI, excuse me, they're only interested in coming after us. And I always said the reason for that, because we made headlines. That was it. You know, you indict John Gotti, Sonny Francis, even Michael Francis to a point, or a host of other guys. I'm only naming the three names I know right now. Um, you made headlines. We made your careers. We're colorful. They make movies about us. The Godfather, Godfather 2. People are fascinated by it. So, yeah. And what happens? You come after us. We don't shoot back. We put our hands up. You put the handcuffs on. We fight you in court. You know, there's a lot of reasons why they came after us. The cartels a little bit differently. You know, in Mexico, the cartels fight back. You know that. And I don't know what's going to happen here in the United States, but could be the same way. I don't think they'll ever go after any group at the level that they went after us. That's my feeling. Okay, David Colomb, how does non-alcoholic wine taste? It's pretty good. It really is. We've had taste tests with people. They really, really love it. You know, and the way our process is, it's actually our Areni wine, which is the origin of Pinot Noir. It's a great wine. And we have that Areni and we extract the alcohol out of it. So we leave a lot of the taste into it, but no alcohol. And the reason Walmart went with us because they loved not only the bottle, but they loved the taste. And they said, we think this is going to be a huge seller. So they gave us 380 stores in 8 states to start. It's huge. So I, uh, I encourage you to try it. Scooby Doo. Happy New Year, Michael. I hope this year is better than last. It will be. think positive. It's going to be a better year. Leave the past. We discussed this in Bible study the other day about leaving the past, leaving the challenges. Look, you can't lament over what went wrong or over what you suffered through in 2024. You got to change your outlook. You got to put yourself around good people that are supportive of you. You got to be around like-minded people. You got to get determined. You got to change things. You can't just sit back and lament over what happened. And you can do this. I did it. Okay, a lot of people I know have done it. This is what you're not, you got to turn the page. But Michael, I'm still going through it now. Yes, but you can get out of it. The right attitude, you can get out of it. And that's what you need to do for 2025. It's going to be a better year. Hater, Michael, I always wondered what it was like signing the oath for the Cosa Nostra. Very intense. For me, it was exhilarating. I wanted to be part of that life, something my father was a part of. I worked hard to get there. It was exhilarating. It's not till later on when you see that it's a misleading life in many ways. And look, it's hard for me to talk bad about the life because I had friends there. And there's an old saying, why do good people do bad things? I'm not going to get into all of that, but all of these people were not bad people. There was some that you didn't want to be around that were just not good people, but there were a lot of good people. And so when I talk about the life itself is bad because it corrupts good people, it hurts families. It's bad. It's bad. But there were good people involved, and I hope you understand that, when I say that. So it was exhilarating for me because I got in for the right reasons, I thought, to help my father, to be part of a family, of a community. You know what? That's in a way why I'm offering this community now, michaelfrancis.com/family, because it was so great to be part of something where, hey, I got your back. It's a brotherhood. We cared about one another. If we weren't involved in criminal activity, it would have been a beautiful thing because there's nothing more powerful than having somebody else's back, being able to sit down and talk to somebody in need, share some of the issues that are going on with you and let somebody support you and encourage you and help you. It's great. And don't get me wrong, I'm not making Cosa Nostra out of our community, but it's the same thought in a way if you understand where I'm going with it. So, okay, let me see, let me make sure. Fresh Visions travel vlogs. Thank you very much, Michael. None of these presidents have come knocking at our door and asked, "Do we need help?" We all need each other in these last days. Blame the media. 100% right on. The media should be ashamed of themselves. They were an absolute disgrace. All of the media that covered for Joe Biden for 4 years, all of the media that propped up Harris, all of the media that covered for all the blunders that he made that would never hold this president accountable during COVID. There's so much. They should all be thrown off the air. All of them. I really mean it because they were deceitful and they lied and they hurt people and people died as a result of it. And there's blood on their hands as a result of it too. When they knew things were wrong, they wouldn't report it. They distorted things. They went after Trump. The people in the media, dangerous. And I pray that they lose their platform. You want to go out in the street and speak? That's up to you. But to get paid to mislead people? No. No, I don't go for that. I'm sorry. I don't go for that. So, but you're so right. Thank you for that, Fresh Visions. I appreciate it. Kevin Coleman, thank you very much, Kevin. The drones are crop dusters spraying a slow acting virus from China. At night, you can't see the dusting. Unlike COVID, they have a vaccine and some officials are vaccinated. Goodbye, Trump's plan. Wow. Man, this is the first I'm hearing about that, Kevin. I hope that's not true. I don't like to believe in conspiracy theories. I'm not one of them, but you know what? I wouldn't put anything past this guy. This president has allowed surveillance balloons, from China to fly across our country. This guy is insane what he's done here. I wouldn't put anything past these people, Kevin. Thank you for enlightening us. I'll do some research into it. I hope you're not right. I mean it. But thanks for bringing it to our attention. I appreciate that very much. God, what a horrible thought. Really. Marco Pinetta, Michael, do you think the Gen Z, Gen Alpha wise guys uses today's tech and AI for ventures similar to what you've done in your former life? Well, I think AI is going to be a tool of energetic, high-tech, knowledgeable criminals. I really do. So yeah, I mean, and guys on the street, they're very innovative. If they don't know how to do it themselves, they'll find somebody that can and they'll attach themselves to them. So yeah, the AI stuff scares me. You know, some of the things that I've heard and seen already, it scares me. I mean, look, we need it. We're going to have to keep up with other nations. Our AI is going to have to, be pursued in a big, diligent way. We have to be the leaders in the world in that. But it's very scary. Do I wish we never heard of it and it didn't exist? Yes, I do. Great question. Raymond Kunke, Mr. Franzese, don't let people rattle your cage. God took you out of that life to give you life. Thank you, Raymond. And it's not about rattling my cage. It's responding when somebody wants to put it right in my face. And again, this is a live. So I think that the response was appropriate. But like I said, I get hit with this all the time. I mean, you go on YouTube, you can hear people talking, and I ignore it all. If it even comes to my attention, sometimes you can't help it. It comes up in your feed, or people like yourself, and I appreciate that, will say, Michael, did you know that this person said this? You can't help it because I'm active on social media, on my platforms. But believe me, I've got thick skin when it comes to it, and I don't like when people talk about my family the wrong way. That's not right. You want to attack me, that's one thing, but my family, that's another. And like I said, say it to my face, man. Don't hide behind a keyboard. Come and say it to my face. I'd say this, Sammy Gravano and we had it out, no question. And I'll tell you this, I can say it. I made a mistake about Sammy initially. I had made a comment. I said, hey, on his best day, John Gotti was a better man than Sammy Gravano. And you know why? Because I was conditioned. My father was alive at the time. I was visiting him. I heard things on the street. And it was wrong for me to say that on social media. And Sammy and I confronted one another. He said things about me also, but we worked it out man to man. I went to Sammy. Sammy came to me. We visited one another. We talked it out. That's how you do it. You don't hide behind a keyboard and want to make all these remarks and stuff like that. What is that? What is that? That's manly. You're a mobster talking like that. You're a tough guy. I don't think so. Deal with it face to face, man to man. I don't run and hide from anybody, so that's my deal. But thank you for making that comment. I appreciate that. Okay, what's with YouTube lately with this ads during the live shows? I don't know, yeah, I never saw that, and we have no control of that, people. The ads, they just do it, what could I don't know. I guess they're trying to get money every which way they can. Okay, Boz Cobra, same as with the internet, all these tools are made for good and bad things. That's right. Just about every tool that was made to do good gets corrupted at some point. People, innovative people, learn how to use it for, the wrong purposes. Admirish, Admirish Conundrum. The Bible study was great. Hopefully, Michael will come through with the Bibles. 100%. I got the Bibles. My team. Oh, for those of you that are wondering what that means, I am providing all the people that come on our Bible study, I am providing them with a Bible that's called the New Believer's Bible. And Greg Laurie, who is my pastor, Harvest Crusade, look him up. I love Pastor Greg. I've known him now for almost 30 years. He has notes to explain certain passages in scripture that need explaining. And that's why it's called the New Believer's Bible. Greg has done a masterful job in that. And I am buying them and I'm giving them out to people on my Bible study, giving them out free. Yes, we are sending them, no postage required or anything else. That's part of my ministry, I believe, to give everybody a Bible that comes on our Bible study. So that if you come in, you're going to get one. I got to get them in bulk now. I got the first 50 people that came on the other day, got the 50 because that's what I had in stock. I've ordered a bunch more. I'm telling you this, hold me to it. This goes down, it's recorded, it's history, it'll be on YouTube. All of those people that come to my Bible study will be getting a New Believer's Bible. That's it. Okay. Rosalia Genova, they won't have the balls to say it to your face. They feel tougher doing it on social media for likes. Well, you know what? That's their problem. That's not mine. And I appreciate that, Rosalia. It's just to talk behind a keyboard and to say things on social media for views or to try to throw your chest out. I mean, what are you accomplishing? Really? You know, I don't know. I guess it, appeases their followers or, who knows? I don't know. Anyway. Lenny Policastro, Happy New Year to the Franzese from the Policastros. I knew a Policastro at one time. I wonder if you're related to him. I think his name was Frank. I'm trying to think. Where did I know him from? Wow. It's a long time ago, so forgive me for that, but I do recall the last name. Anyway, he was a friend at the time, but thank you very much, Lenny. I appreciate that. Okay, Bradley Baggins. Michael, has Chaz Palminteri accepted the Lord yet? I believe Chaz has, yes. And by the way, I have to say this, Chaz is coming out. His one-man show is going to be, it was filmed, masterfully filmed, beautiful job, and it'll be coming on to a streaming platform fairly soon. I'm going to have a trailer soon that I'll be showing on my social media platforms. I love Chaz. I do believe Chaz has come to the Lord. He's a good person, a good human being. He believes in God. He believes in Jesus Christ. And yes, I believe Chaz is in good shape in that way. Al Capone, they do it for clicks and reviews. Yeah, and views. Yes, you're right. Ben Bauer, yes, Sammy is big into social media. I've listened to some of this stuff, but not like yours, Mike. You really cultivated me and captivated me way more than anything or any words that ever came out of him. Ben, thank you very much. Look, to me, the compliments are encouragement. It's what keeps you going and says, you know what? I belong in this space because people are being encouraged and they're benefiting by it. And if it wasn't for that, if it was just me coming on telling stories, like many of you who know when I started this YouTube channel and I got active on it in 2000 during the pandemic, I think it was August of 2020. I started telling mob stories. Always try to tell a little bit less, and that's what we started out with. But then it became more than that to me, and it's kind of like an extension of my ministry to try to help people. And hopefully you're seeing that. We still try to entertain, we still try to provide information, be informative, educational, but we want to help people, encourage people, because that's what we should be doing with one another, encouraging one another, helping one another, and helping those who want help. Remember that. Not everybody deserves help because if you don't want help and you continue in your pattern of behavior, well, then maybe you're not entitled to help, and maybe people shouldn't put their time and effort into that. But if you want help, we want to encourage you, and people should be feel the same way. Encourage one another. Yeah, here's another one of these ads that keep coming up. I don't know why. A lot of them this morning. It's not me. We don't solicit them. The last Boy Scout, we dodged a huge bullet with Kamala losing. Oh, praise God for that. Did we ever dodge a bullet? I'm telling you, this country would have not have survived 4 more years of these progressives and Kamala Harris. God spared us, no question. New York City girl, another troll I advised to block. Ryan777, a loser. Well, um, Ryan777, oh, he's coming on here. Michael, you never checked out the Kim Clement Trump prophecy yet. You'll be blown away, I promise. Okay, maybe I will do that. I'm going to do something on prophecy. I found two very interesting people that I want to talk about alleged prophecy. Remember something about prophecy. That comes from God, and a prophet is only a prophet when he is right 100% of the time. A prophet can't be wrong ever. If a prophet is wrong, he's not a prophet because his words are coming from God and God is never wrong. So remember that. Prophecy has to be 100% accurate at all times or there's no prophecy. And the Bible is explicit in saying that. And there's never been a prophecy in the Bible that was wrong. Never. Not one time. Many have not been fulfilled, many have been fulfilled, but there is never a prophet that is wrong because if that's the case, they're not a prophet. Okay, but Ryan, I will look into that. Kim Clement Trump prophecy. Okay, we'll do that. Hey Max, can you write that down so I don't forget? Kim Clement Trump prophecy. Let's look into it. E-Rock Freedom, they make you pay to not see ads. I don't know about that, but my team will look into that. That's for sure. Gregory Bradley, Mike, do you think to TikTok will be cut off before Trump gets in office? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to cut off TikTok. That's my opinion. And they shouldn't. If they want to look into it, maybe, but should they cut it off? I don't think so. I think it's freedom of speech. If it's harmful to young people, then we can put restrictions on it. But to cut it off altogether, I don't know. Unless they see something in there, and I haven't seen it. I'm not really active on TikTok at all. I go on there sometime for a laugh. Yes, we post in our platform there, but I go in because there's some funny things on there. I have to tell you. It's you get a good laugh out of it. But I don't think they're going to ban it, and I don't think they should. Ross Mitchell, I love the story you told about your father. If you just got done doing something with a guy, there's no need to bring it up. And if you do bring it up, I'll deny it. That was one of the best pieces of advice. Yeah. Listen, I'm not encouraging bad behavior. But if your bad behavior gets out and somebody can hurt you or you can be hurt by it, why talk about it? You become your own, informant at that point. People that brag about their misdeeds, they're just uneducated and sloppy and silly. You don't want to brag about your misdeeds. You want to cover them up and hide them, you know? And people that brag about them, they're really, misled. I have to tell you. Yeah, my father gave me that advice, and I stuck to it right up until this moment. Okay, first round boxing, just like the Bible says, early inventions were used to make weapons. That's true. Absolutely true. Boz Cobra, Sons of Ecstasy. I believe it checked it out already. Yeah, I'm happy for Sammy. That's coming out, I think, January 10th, next week. Him and my good friend Sean Atwood, the two of them. So I haven't seen it, but I understand it's a good documentary. So we'll all watch it. Maybe I'll do a review on it. We'll see. I'll think about it. Um, and by the way, just to give you an up-to-date message on the process of my movie, alleged movie, the script from the writer was handed in to the producer on Wednesday. So they now have what their version of the script is. I haven't read it yet. The process now is the producer is going to give some notes back to the writer. The writer and the producer will then talk and they'll implement some of the suggestions that the producer made. Once that's done, they'll review it again, and then it comes to me for a final review and my input. They are telling me that they want to have a script ready to send to casting agents, to actors, I should say, by the end of January, early February at the latest. That's the schedule. People, I'm telling you about this industry. You don't say anything until the cameras are rolling. That's it. But I think I'm in very good hands with this team. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Lisa Robinson, hey Mike, I'm related to Tom DeBella. I recall you dropping him off at my house. He spoke fondly of you and your dad. I love Tom. Tom was a good man. He treated me very well, and a pleasure to know you and see you come on the platform here. Tom was really a good man. He's the guy that administered the oath on me, or the man, I should say. And I thought he was a good person. I liked Tom very much, and I was in his presence. I drove him and Andrew Russo around quite a bit and got to know Tom well. And it's really gratifying to me to hear that he spoke well about me and my dad. I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much, Lisa. Hope you stay with us on there. Okay, boy, where are we going? Let me make sure I got everybody. All right, we're going to have about it's 12:50 or 10:19. We'll go for a few more minutes. Iraq Freedom, is it possible to restart your life at 42 after a lot of bad? Absolutely. I restarted my life, after prison, 100%. After all the challenges, it's never too late. Never too late, my friend. So please, look, come on to one of my Bible studies. It's free. All we ask you to do is give us your email address so we can send you a Bible, number one, and so we know who we're talking to. michaelfrancis.com/Bible study. We're doing them weekly. I only do two a month. I do the first one, which is normally, I'll do the first Wednesday of the month and the last Wednesday a month. Unless my schedule conflicts, then we just change the day, but we announce it so you'll know what it is. It's absolutely 42. I'm 73. You're a youngster. Come on, man. Don't ever give up, but don't ever think it's too late. I guarantee you we will encourage you. Whatever your issues are that you're going through, it's never too late to turn it around, people. And I really mean that. You got to have the will and the desire and the support to help you do it. And believe in yourself. Determination, believe in yourself. The Bible tells us God bless all of us that go through these tests and trials that we're given in life and we overcome them and survive them because we have great rewards waiting for us, and we do. So please jump in, michaelfranzese.com/Bible study. If you want to get in sooner and you want to come on my platform, we got a lot of people that will help to support you. I promise you, michaelfranzese.com/family. Either one. The Bible study is free. Michael Franzese/family. I'm going to put it out there. $10 a month. And believe me, what you get for $10, it's cheaper than a meal you can buy at McDonald's. I'm telling you. And you don't make any commitment. There's no contract. You can stay in a month, 10 months, a year. You can leave after a week. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want. Jump in. Try it. I guarantee you'll like it. Okay, what happened? I lost my chats. Oh boy. Okay, here we up. Sorry, I got it back. Okay, 3D movies, you. Eyes have not seen the things God has prepared for those that love him. I love the Christians that are bold and come out and just speak their piece on here. Thank you very much. Hopefully other people are looking and say, what is this person talking about? Maybe I should look into it. That's it. And you know what? That's how we share our faith. Not by hitting the head over a Bible, not by being legalistic, not by knocking other faiths, not by holding ourselves up to be holy and thou, because we're not. We're not holier than any and thou. We're not. We're imperfect people trying to do the right thing and being led by God, who shows us the right thing morally and what to do. That's it. And we want to share it. Okay, Pookie L777. Michael, just 10 days before the inauguration, corrupt Judge Merchan will sentence President Trump, but says he won't be incarcerated. You know why he's doing that? Because he wants Trump to go in as a convicted felon. That's why. It's just part of his deception, part of his plan. He doesn't have to do this. This case is going to be overturned at some point. He's sentencing him because until you're sentenced, you're not a convicted felon. So that's why he's doing it. He's got bad intentions. This guy's a fraud. He's horrible. He should be thrown off the bench the same way Bragg should be thrown out of office. These are bad people. And when you talk about Trump going after political enemies, there's your example right there. And don't think that the Biden Justice Department wasn't behind this. Of course they were. They gave their blessing because if Biden didn't want this to happen, he could have said, hey, stop the baloney. Like Sammy would say, stop the nonsense. You don't go after a former president for garbage like this. You don't do it. But he didn't because he wanted to. He wanted it backfired on him. Trump became even stronger after this nonsense conviction. It backfired on Biden. Everything Biden does is wrong. He doesn't do anything right. Everything he does is wrong. Is it going to hurt Trump? No, because they said they're not going to jail him. All they're going to do is make him a convicted felon. So Trump is the quote, first convicted felon ever to be put in office until they overturn this conviction. The good thing about it is Trump then can start his appeal process. You can't formally start it until after you're sentenced. Trust me, I know that. Okay. Sal Ministero Jr., not dropping any names on this platform. I'm working hard. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, trying to get back to Rehoboth, Delaware. Got a great job with family from Philly. Great, great, Sal. Glad to hear that, and I wish you well. And you're invited on my platform if you ever want to jump in. If we can help you, business wise, personal wise, please come in. Jerry Jacoma, Tony Carosa, Larry's dad, always had good things to say about him. Bonnie was Tony's girl for 30 years. Tony was a good man. That whole Carosa situation is very sad. I don't want to review it now. It's one of the things that I have probably my deepest regrets over people, and I'll confess that to you without getting into it. Those of you that are familiar with it know what I'm talking about. But Tony was a good man. He really was. James Day, Happy New Year, Michael. To the Franzese family, God bless you. Thank you very much. Ben Bauer, I got out and I was so scared to sell like I used to. I used to be the guy for a whole country and a guy for the biggest club in the whole New York City nightlife, but I'm not going back. Good move, Ben. You don't want to go back to that. Mark Rios. Michael, do you enjoy watching Catholic scholars and Protestant scholars debate scripture? Yes or no? Absolutely, I do. I love debates on scripture. I really do. They're educating, they're informative. I love to watch them, and there should be debates. Absolutely. Checks and balances. Here's another commercial. It's amazing. Okay. Ross Mitchell. Michael always wanted to know in the scene on Goodfellas, they mention your name and they have a gentleman that looks similar to you. Did you know Jimmy Burke and that crew? I knew Jimmy Burke very well. I knew Paulie Vario very well. I knew Henry very well. I was friendly with that crew for a lot of reasons. So yeah, they did stick me in there because of my, relationship with them. Jimmy Burke was very good to me. He sent me care packages when I was in Lewisburg Penitentiary waiting to be transported across the country. He would send me down care packages. He was upstairs with a lot of other of my friends. And I like Jimmy on the street. We got along very well. So I have nothing but good to say about him. Kentucky Fireman 128. Thank you very much, sir. What is the status of wine being available in Kentucky? I have invested through WeFunder and I'm excited to have it available regularly. Thank you. I'm sure we're going to be there this year. I can't, be specific about it, but you do know that we have calls with our investors, our people that came in through WeFunder. I don't know when the next one is, but I'm sure you're following us on Francie's Wine. We'll keep you up to date. This is our year of expansion. It's our year of expansion. So we've got all the significant accounts right now. We've got Costco, we got Walmart, we got Albertsons, we got Total Wines, we got who else we got? We got Kroger, which is nationwide. We got all the big ones now. So now our goal is to expand in all of them throughout America. And so we'll keep you up to date on that. But thank you so much for participating. We appreciate it. We love our ambassadors and want to keep you happy. Thank you. Spread the word, my friend. Spread it. Okay. Ben Bauer, I clicked on a YouTube link for the Bible study, but I don't know even what to do after that. Sorry, but I want to be in on that. Ben, just go to michaelfrancis.com/Bible study and you can jump in and register and then just watch. We'll announce on social media, when our next Bible study is. I'll announce it probably not on YouTube, but I'll announce it on X. I'll announce it on Instagram and probably TikTok. So we will announce it. Just stay tuned. But that's what you got to register. That's for sure. Okay, CJ 1818. Michael, have you seen the Sean Ryan podcast about the guy in Vegas and the bombing on January 1st? I have not. I've been kind of busy the past couple of days with all family stuff with the holidays. I hope to get back to normal and on a normal schedule starting on Monday. So I'll catch up on things. My team makes me aware of things that I should be knowledgeable about. So plus I do my own research. So, but hopefully I'll get into it and we'll learn more and we'll try to keep you up to date and I'll give you my take on it on these various platforms. Christopher Mormon, shout out, please, Michael, for me and my girlfriend Francesca. Love that name. We love your YouTube platform. Okay, Christopher and Francesca, a shout out from me, Michael Francis. Thank you for being a follower. Thank you for enjoying the content and the information that we provide. A shout out to you. That's a beautiful name, Francesca. I love that. And Christopher, thank you very much. So thanks to the both of you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and a great 2025. Um, Ben Bauer, the happiest I've ever been is when I was connected to God and I've been absent for the past 10 years. Well, come on back. God is waiting. He doesn't abandon us even when we're not with him. So come on back and you'll be happy again. Angela, for us to, excuse me, for to us a child is born, to us a son is given. That's a beautiful, beautiful quote. It's a biblical verse. And the government shall be upon his shoulder. His name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. That's our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you, Angela, for that. Okay, Francisco Horna, support Sammy on this one. Boz Patrick, effed up, sorry to say. Okay. Um, I'm not sure what that means. I didn't know what the comment was, but that's okay. Oh, Francisco Horna still watch Patrick content, but he screwed up with Sammy. Yeah, I can understand Sammy being upset. I really can. I'm going to leave it at that because Patrick is also a dear friend. Sometimes look, I'm sure there was nothing intentional on Patrick's part there, but I understand Sammy being upset. I do because he does have a relationship with Patrick, and I get it. You heard what Sammy had to say. So for those of you that didn't, visit Sammy's platform. He talks about it in a live, by the way. Marco Pineda. Michael, if the internet and social media was available in the 70s and someone talked smack to you, your father or anyone in the Colombo family, are you going to trace and deal with them? Ah, Who knows? We were in a different life back then. Maybe, maybe we wouldn't have done it on social media. Yeah, I think that, you know what? If I didn't do it, the people around me, my guys would have been very upset. I had loyal guys around me. They would have went after him. So one way or the other, you couldn't talk garbage like that. This is a different era. And, look, I know guys on the street right now. I don't talk about them. The guys that are currently doing their thing right now, why would I bring heat or why would I bring, attention to them? They're doing their thing and, they'll deal with their lives. I'm not here to hurt anybody in that regard. So, and I think, like I said, to talk about it on social media is just, it's cowardly, in my opinion. That's it. Another ad, man. Jerry Chacona, I got to buy some wine. I hope so. I hope you buy it and like it. Okay. Renegade Sound. Sammy says a lot. Okay, it's now 10:30 people. We've had about an hour and 45 minutes, so I'm going to let you all go. Excuse me very much. Um, I'll answer this last question. Alexander Crocker, do you think some of the tax evasion on families was bias because they couldn't blame people or they couldn't blame you for them stealing, hence tax evasion? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but listen, if you're talking about government going after people, is there bias involved? Yes, there is, and we've seen that in the past 4 years. But okay, Jerry Jacona, Mike was your father's good friends with Tony Carozza's. Larry's dad said he was the boss. Yes, I introduced my father to Tony Carozza because Larry was my dear friend and brother. Yeah, and they became good friends. They were around the same age and they became good friends. Yeah. Okay, people, I'm going to wrap it up. And I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question properly about the tax evasion. What I'm saying is that um, there is tax evasion. You got to be careful with that. That's all I can say. And sometimes they target people for tax evasion, income tax evasion. It's an easy way to investigate somebody, and they can always find something if they choose to. Not always, but quite often they can. So you got to be careful with that. But anyway, people, I'm going to let you all go. It's Saturday morning, and some of you the afternoon or evening, wherever you might be. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. We're probably going to continue the Saturday mornings. We have YouTube's coming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've got Rumble coming during the week. We've got all our platforms are active. Thank you so much for your support. And for 2025, I do want to say this, people. Be aware of your surroundings. I really mean it, especially you ladies. Watch the parking lots, don't be walking around with your face in your phone so you don't know what's going on around you. Save that until you get into your car or whatever. But just be careful, people. Let's not make 2025 a tough one for any of us because we're sometimes negligent in the way we handle ourselves. Just be careful, especially you ladies. Be careful out there. That's all I can tell you. And I really mean that. So, how do I always leave you, my friends? Very same way. Be safe. Just talked about that. Be healthy. Again, I'm excited about RFK coming in and maybe making us a little bit more healthy. We need that, that's for sure. So be safe, be healthy. And I do mean this. I hope there's an awakening, a revival in this country that leads us back to God and proper morality for 2025. I hope it's a wave. I'm so thrilled that young people are turning to the Bible in record numbers, trying to find purpose in their lives. Let's hope it continues. So, God bless all of you. God bless your families. God bless your loved ones, your neighborhoods, your businesses, your communities. God bless each and every one of you. And I wish you all the best for 2025. But better than that, I ask for God's blessings on every one of you for 2025. That's it for today. Yes, I'll see you next time. All of you take care. Bye bye.